wicket for 4. 3 overs, and that's in reply to New Zealand's score.
Oh, and that's a good delivery from Hadlee. Angled in and then just moving away through the air. A maiden, it's none for 4.
This is Lance Cairns. Nicely timed. Just 2 runs. This will be the most testing time these openers have had in this World Championship of Cricket. Richard Hadlee to Shastri.
Paul McEwen is fairly square, and Shastri has guided that one down to a fine third man for the first boundary of the innings.
Very frustrating for New Zealand, but Indian supporters will be delighted about that.
Quite a chase there for Martin Snedden. Srikanth is very quick between wickets, and he comes back for the third.
Chatfield to Srikanth.
That's a more typical shot from Srikanth. Quite a chase for Lance Cairns. And India once again making a good start. They posted 124 against Australia. They're on the way again.
And Srikanth has now made his 1,000th run in limited overs internationals.
John Reid getting underneath it. And that ball not bouncing anywhere near as high as what Srikanth thought it was going to. And Ewan Chatfield has struck the first blow for New Zealand.
I think that feeling I had was quite right. He went for that, tried to pull it, and as Ian Chappell's underlined, it didn't bounce all that high. And in the end, I think he tried to check his stroke.
Srikanth caught by Reid from the bowling of Chatfield for 9. India 1 for 28 in the 9th over.
After 10 overs, New Zealand were 2 for 37. Went on to get 206. India a little behind as far as runs are concerned. Deficit of 9. They've got an extra wicket up their sleeve.
That's beautifully played through the gap on the onside. Very characteristic of a lot of these Indian batsmen, very whippy with the wrists.
Seems to me that Martin Snedden has slowed down a bit. He's not trying to bowl as fast as last time we saw him, concentrating more on length and moving the ball.
Azharuddin was after him, but Snedden dropped it short on him. And another round of applause here. The crowd is getting very involved here. They can sense this is a tremendous effort being put up by the New Zealanders. They're defending a small total. Just 206. Well bowled. Well fielded. Good cricket from Martin Snedden and a roar of applause from this SCG crowd. 1 for 46 in 20 overs. Only to Azharuddin. There's 4, and that is the position. It's been left open to try and buy the wicket. It was a real cross batter.
And the Indian supporters rise to their feet to greet. First bright moment in 14 overs. The first time that the ball has reached the boundary fence. A fairly agricultural looking stroke on the part of Azharuddin. It's a fairly crucial time for Indian hopes. They must get Kohli away for runs.
Beautifully played. Perfect placing just inside mid-off and just away to the left of the man at long on.
Well, so far so good. The question one asks oneself is, can this go on? I think the Indian batsmen Azharuddin and Shastri realise they must get after Kohli.
Chatfield now to Azharuddin. The shot of the evening so far. Suddenly the run rate jumps.
Oh, this young man from Hyderabad.
Word from Howarth there to Chatfield. Mohammad Azharuddin has taken strike. And it's in the air. It should be caught. It's John Reid. Oh, what a catch! Kohli it was, came around with Reid racing towards it. That is a marvellous catch. Mohammad Azharuddin has gone. Reid was racing in from long on. Kohli took it on himself to run away from the bowler and the batsman, and he took a superb catch over his shoulder.
Oh yes, that's the catch that's going to lift that New Zealand side, because Azharuddin hit that fairly well in the meat. It went very, very high, was going away from Kohli as he chased after it. It was a case of now you see it, now you don't. And I think that Jeremy Kohli didn't see it for most of the way. He had his eyes upwards. Oh, my word, how well he judged it. A superb catch.
That was John Reid. Came in a picture just a few yards away from Kohli. Azharuddin out for 24, 2 for 73.
You mentioned that Ravi Shastri hit 6 sixes in 1 over. And you don't know who the bowler was, do you? I certainly don't think he's become as famous as Malcolm Nash has. Anyway, he was the guy that Garfield Sobers hit the 6 sixes off in 1968. That's nicely placed. And Saka will get back for the second. It's important to pick up the twos as well. It's 2 for 86. Ravi Shastri is playing it pretty intelligently out there. Posed a hypothetical question before as to whether or not the bowler who delivered the over in which Shastri hit 6 sixes would become as well known as Malcolm Nash, the bowler who had 6 sixes hit off him by Garfield Sobers back in 1968. We've been informed by our statistician Irving Rosenwater. The bowler's name was Taki Raj. There's 50 to Ravi Shastri. And I think that's very tacky of you, Peter, to mention the guy's name. Well played, Ravi Shastri. That's his second consecutive half-century in this World Championship Series. So Richard Hadlee, who has not taken a wicket tonight, but he's bowled quite magnificently, particularly against Srikanth when he had all sorts of strife outside the off stump. No wicket for 11 off 5. Hadlee about to start his 6th over. Once again, the responsibility of securing a breakthrough for New Zealand rests on the shoulders of this great all-rounder. And taken at point. He's broken through immediately. And Ravi Shastri, the man that they wanted, comfortably caught at point by Paul McEwen. So in the 32nd over, Hadlee has stung like a bee. Just what the doctor ordered as far as New Zealand was concerned. Ravi Shastri, the bat a long way from his body, and the ball just spooned to Paul McEwen. And Hadlee applauds his Canterbury teammate because the 3rd Indian wicket has fallen. And the score is 3 for 102 in the 32nd over.
Hadley to Kapil Dev.
And that's nicely placed, beating Chatfield at third man. That pad has been brought in to put some extra pressure on Kapil Dev.
Chatfield to Kapil Dev. It's in the air over point. Won't go for 4. Miscued, meant to be hit down the ground. But they'll get 3. This is the danger time as far as New Zealand are concerned. So Kapil Dev has already gone past double figures. 3 for 118. Hadley put into Vensaka. Slashed away for 4. Hadley at the start gave these fellas absolutely no room at all. Kapil Dev, man taking strike, gave him no room at all in the early overs. There's a bit of room there, outside the off stump and short. Brilliant stroke again. Hadley's too short and too wide.
Well, the Indians are dancing in the aisles. They're loving every second of this Kapil Dev. Of course, a big hero in India.
Oh no! Now that could be the match. John Reid at mid-off, beautifully bowled by Hadley, the slower ball. Everything went right, except that it came out of Reid's hands.
Yes, it was hit quite firmly, but it was straight to him, and it's the sort of catch that any test player should take.
Shots. Now that's adding a little bit of insult to a lot of injury.
Oh, this is magnificent cricket. Kapil Dev at his very, very best.
Hadley to Vensaka. It's a very, very expensive over for Hadley and for New Zealand. India have raced along now to 3 for 135. Snedden to Vensaka. 4 runs. Only just out of the reach of the close infielder there. Beautifully struck by Kapil Dev. By Dilip Vensaka.
Yes, Vensaka now beginning to unleash a few beautiful drives. Lovely cover drive there.
3 for 166. 38 Kapil Dev, 39 Vensaka. Vensaka has strike. There's a beautiful stroke for 3. In the air, but safe, and 3 more. This time Kapil Dev. Great stroke. Beautiful cricket from India here. Tied down just after the start of their innings by some brilliant New Zealand work. They've fought back and now they're carving the attack. And safely away through slip. Chatfield can't get it for more. And the score's fairly racing along now. And Vensaka has gone past the half-century mark.
Hadley back into the attack. Has had his first 3 overs all maidens, and Srikanth all at sea against him.
And Keppel's caught hold of that one with just one bounce and over the rope. I don't think he hit it in the middle, but it still almost carried to the longest boundary on the ground. There's the slower ball. Hasn't quite got that one in the middle. And it will pitch just like a wedge shot going into the green. And that's the 50 for Kapil Dev and the 200 coming up for India. And we could be well on the way to a replay of the 1983 World Cup final. Kapil Dev strikes the winning blow. It'll just be a single. Ball will stop short of the boundary. And so India claim victory in the 44th over. And they go through to the final. And the Indians are really on the warpath.
Well, that was a great performance.